Hello students, my name is Tehsin Sheikh. Welcome at Nagesh Karajgi Orchid channel. Today we are going to study Geography lesson number 2, Physical Feature of India. Student, this is our second lecture of Geography lesson number 4, Physical Feature of India. So in the first lecture we have learned about the three movements which are responsible for the land formations. Plate movements, our earth surface is formed 7 major plates and some minor plates are here, and these plates they are moving in the different direction in different speed. So this movement of plates are responsible for different land formations or different features which formed on earth surface. So these plate movements are two plates when comes closer to each other, it is called convergent plate movement. When two plates they move away from each other, it is called divergent movement, and when two plates they horizontally passes and collide or crumble to each other, it is called transform plates. So students, yesterday we have learned this point. Yesterday we have also learned our India's physical feature. When we observe our India's northern part is covered by Himalayan mountain area. See here on the image on the map, Indian map, this is first one or first number is indicate that northern mountains of India. It is stretched from west direction to east direction, and all the loftiest peaks are located here on the Himalayan mountain range. Second physical feature, it is northern plain area. This is also formed by rivers which are originated in the Himalayan area. Third physical feature, we are going to study about the Indian desert. It is located on the western margin of India. Fourth physical feature, oldest landmass on our earth surface, it is called Peninsula Plateau or Plateau region. Fifth one, see here from Gujarat to Kanyakumari, here western coastal area, and from here West Bengal to Kanyakumari, eastern coastal plain area. And last physical feature, these both are located on the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. In the Bay of Bengal, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and in the Arabian Sea, Lakshadweep Islands. So students, yesterday we have introduced, I have introduced this all physical features to you, and we have also learned about the northern Himalayan area or the Himalayan mountain range. So in the Himalayan mountain range, on the basis of height, Himalayan mountain is divided into three major sections. See here, first upper part of Himalaya, its height is more than 7,000 meter. It is called Himadri or Greater Himalaya. When we come to the southern side of Himadri area, second part height near about 3,500 to 4,500. It is called Himachal Pradesh, or Lesser Himalaya, Middle Himalaya. And when comes to the southern side of this Himachal area, there Shivalik ranges are there, or it is also called Outer Himalaya. So students, when we discuss about our Himalayan region is located in the northern part, and due to that it is barrier the winds which are coming from the northern part of India, northern part of globe like the Russia or some part of Mongolia, they not entered in our India due to Himalaya. Means the Himalaya is just structure like see here, the loftiest peaks are there, and due to Himalaya, the winds not entered in India, and it's a barrier for that cold winds, and due to that our Indian climatic condition is favorable, or it's a control the Indian climatic condition. These Himalayan regions are very important. It is very good place of tourist. Jammu Kashmir, Srinagar area, Himachal Pradesh, then Uttarakhand. When we observe, these places are highly developed due to tourism activities. Many tourists they attracted on this place. Some lakes are there, some hills are there, glaciers are there, and due to that region, Himalayan area is also called India's Switzerland. And when we observe this Himalaya, many rivers, the source of many rivers like Ganga river, Indus river, Brahmaputra river, they are rises on the Himalayan area. So that's why Himalaya is very important for our India or for our Indian स्ट्रक्चर जहाँ पे हम इंडिया की बात करेंगे, हिमालय इज़ द वेरी इज द नेचर ऑफ ब्यूटी एंड ड्यू टू दैट रीजन सी हियर Himalayas 3 classification on the map. First one here, this is uppermost area or the northern part is called Greater Himalaya. Second part here, this is small line from west to eastern direction, it is called Lesser Himalaya. And third part here, this is outermost layer and southernmost part, it is called Shivalik or Outer Himalaya. So students, yesterday we have learned these all points here, Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, K2, these all loftiest peaks are located here in the Greater Himalaya. All area is a snow capped area or snow bounded area throughout the year, and due to that reason glaciers are originated here in the trans-Himalayan area. Second one, Lesser Himalaya, Jammu Kashmir, Shimla, Kulu Manali, Himachal Pradesh, these all tourist places are located in the second part. And in the last one, Outer Himalaya, some small dunes are there like Dehradun, Patli Dune, some small dunes are located on the third outermost layer of Himalaya. So students, clear? Yesterday we have seen Himalaya and the plate movements. So students, today we are going to study our next physical feature. Okay, so next physical feature means what? When we comes to the southern side of Himalaya, when we come to the lower part of Himalaya after Shivalik, the northern plains are formed by major three river, Indus river in the western part, Ganga river in the center part, and Brahmaputra river in the eastern part of India. So see the northern plain. In the northern plain, when we discuss about the northern plain, see here on the map again. First part here, this is first one. It is called Punjab plain. Okay, Punjab, Haryana, some part of Delhi. These are the part of first one, Punjab plain. Second one, in the middle area, Ganga river and its tributaries, they form this second area and it is called Ganga plain or Gangetic plain. And third one, easternmost part of our India, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, some Meghalaya, Tripura, Nagaland, these states are here, and here it is called Brahmaputra plain. Means on this plain or the northern plain is totally demarcated by three rivers, Ganga river, Indus river and Brahmaputra river, from west to east near about 7 lakh square kilometer, 7 lakh square kilometer spread this area, and it's about 2400 kilometer long and 240 to 320 kilometer broad of this area. See here the broad and the from west to east near about 7 lakh square kilometer area covered by northern plain. So this plain is formed by three major river systems, that is Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra, along with their tributaries. Not only main rivers, their tributaries are also flowing there. When we discuss about the Indus river, with Indus tributaries of Indus rivers like Satluj, Ravi, Chenab, Beas and Jhelum, these are the tributaries of Indus river. So main Indus with these tributaries, they form this plain on the Punjab area, and these rivers are entered in the Pakistan and discharged in the Arabian Sea. These rivers, they form this, they carry lots of deposition from Himalayan mountain area. They brought that deposition and deposited on the this northern plain, and due to that reason alluvial soil is very fertile soil. It's very good for agricultural production. So these all rivers, they brought that sediment and deposited here on the northern plain. That's why this part of our India, it is called granaries, because sugarcane, wheat, rice, with that millets, maize, some other fruits and vegetables also cultivate here in the northern plain of India. So students, see here, this plain is composed of alluvial soil which has been deposited over million of years. Means when we observe this northern plain, river not brought that deposition once or twice. Continuously rivers flowing through this area and it's brought that deposition. So that's why every year new soil covered in this northern plain area, means old soil it composed in the downside and upper layer of that old soil, new soil is formed. So that's why this alluvial type of soil which brought by rivers, it is very fertile type of soil. So see here, in the first one Punjab plain, second one Ganga plain and third one Brahmaputra plain. 7 lakh square kilometer area from here to here and 2400 kilometer long and 240 to 320 kilometer broad region found in the northern plain of India. So when we discuss about the northern plain, the rivers are coming from northern mountain area. See here, Punjab plain, Ganga plain and Brahmaputra plain. On the basis of that, these three rivers are coming from mountainous area. Due to more depositional work, due to gentle slope, the velocity of river decrease. See, first one we have learned first physical feature, Himalaya. The rivers, they are originating on the Himalayan river. The speed of river is more on the mountain, but when they entered in the plain area, the speed of river start to decrease, and due to that reason the river velocity is start to decrease. That river which carry that deposition, they started to deposit here on the plain, and here which result the formation of riverine island also. Majuri island is the best example, which formed by Brahmaputra river in the eastern part. So when this all material they comes downside, they deposited there, and some riverine islands also form in this area. The river in the lower course split into a numerous channel due to the deposition of silt, and these channels are known as distributaries. When river entered in this plain area, due to decrease the speed of river, that river form many other channels, means rivers not flowing through one channel, is flowing through the different channel, and in middle when deposition deposited there, river creates some other channels, and due to that reason there form many distributaries also. The northern plain is broadly divided into three sections. So these three sections are here. First one Punjab plain, second one Indus river and its tributaries, they form Punjab plain. Second one Ganga plain, Ganga river and its tributaries, they form Ganga plain. And last one Brahmaputra plain, Brahmaputra river and its tributaries, they form last one Brahmaputra plain. So see, first one we will discuss about the Punjab plain. So Punjab plain is the part of is formed by our main Indus river and its tributaries. So which are the tributaries of Punjab? In the last lecture we have learned in the lesson number 3, drainage, Indus river and its tributaries. So yes students, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas and Satluj, these are the tributaries of main Indus river, and these all rivers, they are flowing through Punjab and entered in Pakistan, and they covered majority portion of Pakistan. So Indus is longest river in Pakistan, not in India. Dobes abound in this plain. Some dobes, some plain area also formed by this river. And when we observe the Punjab is a word. Here in the Pan means 5 and Jab means river. So 5 rivers are there, that's why Punjab is called Punjab area. And Doab means what? Doab is made of 2 words. Do means 2 and Ab means water. So similarly, Punjab is also made up of 2 words. Pan means the Pan means 5 and Ab means water. So Doab and Punjab plain area found in this formed this Indus river and its tributaries. Now when we come to the second session, when we come to the second part of northern plain, it's the largest part of the northern plain, it is called Ganga plain. So again Ganga river with its tributaries, some tributaries they comes from Himalayan area and some tributaries they join the Ganga river from the southern part. So Ghagra, Gomti, Gandak, Tista, Yamuna, Chambal, Betwa, Shon, these are the tributaries of Ganga river, and they drain whole northern part, Delhi, then Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, here Kolkata area, Jharkhand, Haryana, some part of Madhya Pradesh also they drain, and this river in the end discharge in the Arabian in the Bay of Bengal. So the Ganga also form this largest area, and Ganga plain area famous for different type of crop cultivation. In Uttar Pradesh, farmers they are growing sugarcane, cotton, wheat production. On the Bihar and West Bengal area, farmers they are growing rice cultivation, maize cultivation. So due to that region, Gangetic plain area also economically economically or agriculturally very important area. So see students, on the Ganga plain area, when we discuss about the Ganga plain, it extend between Ghagra river to Tista river, means that rivers they demarcated this area. Our Brahmaputra plain area, Punjab plain area is the northern western part of northern plain, formed by Indus and its tributaries, Ravi, Chenab, Beas, these are the tributaries, and this section is dominated by Dobes. But when we come to the second part, the Ganga plain area, is between Ghagra and Tista river, and this river is continuously flowing. We know that Ganga river originated on the Gangotri glacier and is discharged in the Bay of Bengal. So from the Gangotri glacier to West Bengal area, it is covered near about 2500 kilometer area, and this alluvial plain continuously Ganga deposited from many years, and due to that region this area is also famous for holy places like temples are there, Varanasi, Kashi, Allahabad, Devprayag, these temples are there, and tourism purpose, and the second important thing, agriculture purpose, this Ganga plain or northern plain is very important plain area. So students, now next one we are going to study about the third plain. This is Brahmaputra plain. Again Brahmaputra plain means it's formed by Brahmaputra river and its tributaries in the eastern part of India. So when we discuss about the eastern part, see here the Brahmaputra, its origin near the Assam and Brahmaputra, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, some part of West Bengal, and due to that region Brahmaputra is very important river in the eastern part. See here these plains are divided into 4 regions. Again on the basis of longitudinal division, these plains are classified into 4 regions. The narrow belt of 8 to 16 kilometer in width lying parallel to the slope of Shivalik are called Bhabar. So when we discussed about this layer on the basis of south to north direction, after Shivalik ranges one narrow belt is there, and in that narrow belt is called Bhabar belt, 8 to 16 kilometer width of that Bhabar belt, and some pebbles, some stones are there. Next one, second belt, it is called Terai. The streams and rivers re-emerge here and create a wet and swampy area or marshy region, it is called Terai. So after Bhabar area, rivers are disappear in the Bhabar area because big pebbles are there, and when this river again when we come to the southern part of Bhabar, again one narrow belt form, and this belt is called Terai belt. The streams are again re-emerge on the second belt and create one wet, swampy and marshy region, river with the silt or river with the soil. Third plain, when we again comes to the third part or the southern side of Terai belt, flood plains of river and present a terrace like feature is known as Bhangar. See, continuously river brought that deposition and the old soil, it is called Bhangar, and this Bhangar belt are very good for the very fertile area or the good for agriculture, and in the soil in this region contains calcareous deposition known as the Kankar, and the last one some soil is contain calcareous deposition, it is called our Kankar belt. So see students, these are the plain divided into 4 regions, and we have learned the northern plain into 3 sections: Punjab plain, Ganga plain and Brahmaputra plain. And when we discuss about these 3 area or this northern plain area, it's covered, the largest part of northern plain is formed by old alluvial soil, and it lies about the floodplain of river and present a terrace like feature. This part is known as Bhangar. The soil in this region contain that calcareous deposition, just we have learned, it is called Kankar, and the new younger deposition of flood plain is called Khadar. See, new soil continuously reverse brought and is deposited, that new soil is called Khadar, and the renewed almost every year, and old soil is called Bhangar, and due to is renewed almost every year. So this area is very fertile, ideal for intensive agriculture. So farmers, they are intensive cultivate this area because fertile soil, easily available fresh water, and next important thing, this area is agriculturally or for the purpose of religious purpose is very important area. See students, this four section of the northern plain, Bhabar, Bhangar, Khadar and Terai, just we have seen. Now here see the northern plain of India, it's a beauty of nature. Here northern plain, northern plains, some flat area where rivers are flowing. Here also the agriculturally developed area, and some small hills are there, and this is the beauty of our India. Northern plain, greeneries of India, because most agriculture production we are producing here on the northern plain. So students, clear what we have learned? We have learned about the northern plain. Northern plain is located after the Himalayan mountain, Himalayan river which emerge in the Himalayan area. They carry lots of deposition and deposited here on the northern plain, and due to that reason these northern plains are formed Punjab plain, Ganga plain and Brahmaputra plain. These are the three sections of northern plain, and on the basis of region also four parts they are divided, Bhangar, Khadar, Terai, and last one we have learned about the Bhangar area. So see students, next part we are going to study third physical feature, and on the map already we have learned the third physical feature is located on the western part near Pakistan, near the Pakistan, Rajasthan and Gujarat, some part of northern Gujarat, and whole western Rajasthan is covered by desert area. See in the map, see in the image, Rajasthan totally largest area is covered by sandy soil, and yes, camel is the animal which are useful for the transportation in Rajasthanic desert area. See here, it is also famous for tourist spot. As a tourist place, many tourists they attract here and they visited here from the other countries. So see students, in the Indian desert, desert toward the western margin of the Aravalli hills, it is an undulating sandy plain covered with sand dunes. So when we observe this Indian desert area, it covered western part of Aravalli mountain. Aravalli mountain is located there exactly in the Rajasthan area, and the western part of Aravalli mountain, it is called Indian desert area. Small dunes are there, barkhans are there. These are the landform which made by sandy soil, or the these are common landforms which are occurred in the desert area. Now what are the characteristics of Indian desert? So yes, on the basis of climate only, this desert is very different. So when we observe the climatic condition in the Indian desert area, in the Indian desert receive very low rainfall, means very short rain, or mostly at the time of monsoon season only they get 25-30 millimeter rain in the whole desert area. See here, only 150 millimeter per year. Luni is the only large river in this region, and when we discuss about the rivers, many rivers are there, but they are not perennial river due to less rainfall, but only one river is there, is flowing perennial, and it is called Luni river. Barkhans, craton shaped dunes cover larger area, but longitudinal dunes become more prominent near the Indo-Pakistan boundary. It can be seen in Jaisalmer and Rajasthan. See students, when we observe this map, here some dunes are formed, here it is called sand dunes, and some barkhan shaped. We know that we have already learned the deposition and erosion work of sand. winds. So when winds blowing in the fast velocity in the desert area, no barriers are there, no trees are there, no buildings are there, and that's why wind blowing very in the speed in the desert area. And at that time winds, first important thing is carry lots of some small particles of sand and is deposited on the another area. So at that time, due to deposition and erosion work of winds, most of the area of this Indian desert is covered by barkhans. Barkhan means just like a U-shaped dunes are formed there, and it's very common feature of Indian desert area. See students here, and when you people observe your textbook on the page number 14, the Indian desert is there, and due to less rainfall, ladies or people, they are moving here and there for searching water. The Indian desert, it's a part of western part of India, near the Aravalli hill. It's a covered with sand dunes, and 150 millimeter rainfall received in this desert area. One river is there, Luni river, and is totally some other rivers, they disappear in other season, and they flowing only in the monsoon season. Barkhans, sand dunes, these are the common physical feature which are found in the Indian desert area. So students, clear? Just we have learned about the northern plains, and second one Indian desert. Now next one we are going to study about the peninsular plateau. It is the majority of portion our India is covered by peninsula plateau. Now plateau means what? See, at the time of volcanic eruption, all the materials comes outside like lava, ash, magma, some gases, some solid or some liquid, other material. These all material when come outside, after cooling and solidification is converted into plateau. Plateau is also called table land. See here in the map, this is called plateau, means height is not more like mountains, altitude is not more like mountain. When we observed or when we discussed about the mountain, both slopes are very steep in the mountain, and height is more than 1000 meter. And when we observe or when we discuss about the plain area, it is totally flat area. Height is near about 100 meter, 200 meter on the plain. But when we discuss about the plateau, it's not like a mountain and it's not like a plain. Means in between mountain and plain, that upper level is totally flat, it is called plateaus. So our peninsula plateau, southern part of our India, is formed by due to volcanic eruption, and we are called peninsula plateau. See here, this image is showing that plateau area, upper level is flat and both the side gentle slope. यहाँ पे जो है वो हम जब माउंटेन देखते हैं steep slopes, but here for the plateau gentle slopes. So see here, next one, the peninsular plateau. The location of peninsular plateau, here in the southern part of India, see that plateau is divided into two sections. Northern part is called Central Highland and southern part is called Deccan Plateau. The Peninsula Plateau is flanked by Aravalli on the northwest, the Western Ghat in the west, and the dissected Eastern Ghat in the east. First one, see and listen carefully. Area or the peninsular plateau is covered. Aravalli mountain here on the northwestern part. See, Aravalli mountains western part, Thar desert, and Aravalli mountains here eastern part. It is called peninsular plateau. Here on the western part, Western Ghat is there, and on the eastern side, Eastern Ghat is there, and these are the boundaries of peninsular plateau. Clear students? Aravalli on the northwestern part, Western Ghat on the western part, and Eastern Ghat on the eastern part, and this triangular shaped landform is called peninsular plateau. So students, just we have seen this peninsular plateaus map. In detail, peninsular plateau we will discuss in our next session. So just we have learned about the northern plain, second physical feature of India, and third one Indian desert area, third physical feature of India. In the next session we will discuss about the peninsular plateau, after that islands area, and then how these physical features attracted tourism or attracted people. About these all things we will discuss in our next session. As a homework, you have to write, explain in detail northern plains and write the characteristics of Indian desert area. See, two questions are there for your homework. First one, explain in detail northern plain, and second one, explain characteristics of Indian desert area. Okay students, so we will meet in our next session. Take care, stay your home. Thank you.